Okay, hi everyone. This is Dr. Haider Shah. Welcome to the Kalwas channel. Today we have very interesting topic, and we were receiving a lot of requests from the different students from the different universities and the audience around the world on the topic that is there anyone who could tell us about the Eviews, how to carry out the basic econometric analysis. So for that purpose, we had requested to a very renowned scholar, speaker, and a very renowned person for that perspective. And thank God he gave the consent that he would conduct the webinar on that Eviews for the larger interest of our audience. So let me just tell you that today our topic is the basic econometrics analysis using Eviews. And today we have a very interesting and very nice personality with us. That the guest is the Dr. Muhammad Anis Khan, who is currently serving as a senior assistant professor of finance and accounting at Management Studies Department of Bi-Variate University Business School, Islamabad. He earned his PhD from University Technology Petronas, Malaysia. He worked in CUST, Islamabad, higher in multinational Lahore, Brains University, on a different position. He has over 10 years of experience in the industry, academia, and research. Dr. Anis has published his work in multiple reputed journals, including Impact Factor journals, ISI, and HEC recognized journals. He has participated in multiple conferences as a session chair. He conducts the training and workshops on the latest techniques, including Eviews, data, and many more in various countries. In addition to that, he is currently working on various international research projects in collaboration. He is the author, trainer, researcher, and a teacher. So please help me in welcoming the guest, Dr. Anis. Dr. Anis, welcome to the Kalwas platform, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone. Thank you to Kalwas for this opportunity. It's not only opportunity for me, but for all the viewers who will participate in this meeting today. And this will be, in my opinion, a very fruitful meeting at the end. Yeah. Myself is Dr. Anis, and thank you so much. You introduced me very poorly. Yeah. Actually, the first thing that I will share with you all is most of the viewers will be the beginners, and they will think about that the Eviews will be a helicopter concept, and it will be like a very tough type of thing. But believe me, in my opinion, when we started it was like a very difficult concept. But when we came to know this is like you can have it within an hour or so as well. So today, the training or the workshop or the lecture or we have to deliver about the Eviews. Yes. The first thing that should be in the mind of every viewer over here on this platform, on Kalwas platform, yes, that either if you will go to the primary data or if you will go to the secondary data, you have to face the learning of the softwares. Yes. And this is the most important phase for every student who is thinking that methodology is very difficult. Obviously, no doubt, methodology is different, not difficult. Yeah. So when you will reach to methodology, then at the end you will say it was nothing and I was too much intention as well. Yeah. The important point that I want to share with the viewers is that whenever you are going to review a paper, you just go through the methodology section. And there you see the tables, like table of descriptive statistic, table of correlations, table of regressions, table of multicollinearity, autocorrelation, endogeneity, and something like that. So when you see these tables, by myself, when I saw these tables when I was in PhD, yes, I got stuck over there. Yeah. But believe me, there is no stuck over there. In today's session, we will mostly discuss that session, like the methodology session,
Yeah.
and you would be very much astonished
Yeah.
when you will came to know that these correlations, these regressions, and these descriptive statistic is only came through only a one command.
Oh.
So let's start with the
Yeah.
general discussion first.
Yeah. Dr. Miss,
That
can you allow me one question? Yeah. Can you
yeah.
tell us, our viewers, because we have international audience as well, why there is a kind of people are afraid of methodology section and particularly the data analysis? Why people are so afraid of it? Why there is a myth that it's very difficult to do it? As you know, you are the expert of MOS and the Smart PLS as well. That it is not that difficult, but people have made it very difficult for other rest of the people, and they always try to make a complaint that how would I carry out the data analysis. So please just tell us few tips that how to overcome this kind of afraid when you are afraid of this thing.
Thank you so much for asking this question, and
Yeah.
basically this was in my mind as well.
Yeah.
Listen, one thing everyone should keep in mind that no doubt econometrics is a very vast field.
Yes.
And it suits to the people of economics. We
Yes.
people are from the finance, but in a conclusion, I would say that if you learn 30 commands,
Yes.
30 commands of Stata,
Right.
30 commands of Eviews,
Right.
then there is, without this, there is no command that will be used in your MS, MPhil, or PhD.
Wonderful.
So people have learned, even many people who did not took any training sessions, but they learn all these commands and they are earning a lot from the Fivers.
Oh,
They
yes.
have their logins in the Fivers, and they are doing the analysis for the especially for the Gulf countries people through
okay.
these commands. So
Oh.
today, and your question that methodology section is difficult. Obviously, in PhD, when you meet with your supervisor and when you go through the research paper,
Right.
and especially a good journal paper, then obviously you think that yes, there is a very tough section that is of methodology section.
Yeah.
Because through methodological section, you have to prove all the hypotheses, you have to prove all the objectives, you have to prove all the questions, you
Yes.
have to give solution to the problem,
Yeah.
and you have to prove the theory as well.
Yeah.
Because the econometric equations you are going to build, that is y is equal to a plus b x1, b2, x2, b3, x3 plus error term. It
Yes.
means that all the things are over here, and you have to prove it at the end.
Right.
So the most important point today I will share with the viewers that, in my opinion, that is very much important, that people should learn the nature of the data. Most of the students, most of the researchers don't know that how to select the data and what will be the nature of the data. So today,
Yes.
my concentration will be mostly that students should learn whether I am going for time series data, I'm going for cross-sectional data,
Right.
or I'm going for the panel data. So
That's
if,
wonderful.
in
That's
my
wonderful.
opinion,
Yeah.
they learn all these things,
Yeah.
then there will be like
I
there
believe
will
that this
no
is the
way.
first step they need to understand before going for any
Yeah, I will-
analysis. Yeah, that is
yeah,
very important one.
and I will discuss this step with them in the start as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. I am so eagerly waiting for that to learn as well from you, as you are my teacher in that thing. Yes, thank you.
so much. So let's formally begin this session, because student will wait for this session as well.
Yeah,
that
please.
that from where I will start. Obviously, the first thing is the classification of the students, because this is a basics training seminar or session.
Yes.
So we have to focus on the students as well.
Right.
So the students is of different type of like they can belong from the human resources, they can belong for marketing, they can belong from finance as well.
Right.
But typically the people of finance should concentrate on this workshop very, very well.
Yeah.
Because the marketing and the human resource students, they go normally for SPSS, for structure equation modeling, for PLS and all the other software available in the market. But the students that belongs to economics, the student that belongs to finance, they have to look for the software like Stata and Eviews. And today we are going to discuss the basics of the Eviews and the basics of the econometrics, on the basis of which students have to develop their concepts. And on the basis of concepts, you have to run all these econometric models, and at the end they will learn how to run the analysis.
Yes.
So the first thing is the title. What type of student you are? Either you are finance, HR, or marketing student. Then after that, you have to define the problem. That what type of problem you want to solve. Either you want to solve the industrial problem, or any social problem, or any general problem. So for those problem statement, which is basically considered as a gap, you have to give the solution. And for this solution, you have to develop the econometric model. Wonderful. Because without econometric model, you cannot give the significance contribution to the academia, or to the industry, or to the country as well. So the first thing, you have to develop the econometric model. And today the title of the workshop is also, we have to go for the basics econometrics. So in this basic econometrics, the first thing, you should know the problem, that what you are going to solve. Then on the basis of the problem, you have to develop the questions, and you have to develop the objectives. So the objective, for example, you are working in a finance, like you're working in a finance field, so your objective should be like to solve the problem of the finance, being a finance graduate. Then you should also think for the significant contribution as well, that what will be the significant contribution of my thesis as well. So for this significant contribution, you have to be very much vigilant in forming the gap of the studies as well. So by combining all these things, which I think the most important thing is the population you are going to work. Because from the population you are going to draw the sample, and on the basis of sample you have to develop the parameters, and on that basis you have to develop the econometric model, and from the econometric model you have to give the answers to the problem as well. So student should learn one thing, that they have to go for such a type of sample whose data is available in the market. So population and sample is very much important. Then this was a general discussion, like about the population, about the sample, about the objectives, about the questions, and all these things. But now coming to the basic things, for which I think so the students are waiting, and for which I think so I moved in Malaysia for 373 kilometers from one place to another place as well. And I remember those days when I spend my pocket money, like today world, this is very good world. People are working with people like you are doing this good work, and you are arranging these workshops for the participants, and they are getting good interactions with you and with the Kalwas and with the different type of scholars as well. So coming to the topic, so from here, please concentrate with me and be with me, all the viewers, that what is data? So we can divide the data on the basis of aspect, on the basis of nature, and on the basis of time and entity. So what is on the basis of aspect? Very simple. Everyone know it's on the basis of sample. There is a primary data and there is a secondary data. Primary data is like you can go for the questionnaires, and you can go for the surveys, and secondary data is like all those data which you can get from Security Exchange Commission of Pakistan, from the data stream, from the Bloomberg, from the S&P Global, and so on. So this, on the basis of aspect, you have the primary and secondary data. Then you can move to another that is on the basis of nature. So it's only on the basis of nature. There is another two type like qualitative data and quantitative data.
Yes.
Once again, the qualitative data is directly linked with the primary data, and quantitative data is directly linked with the secondary data.
Yes.
Now, coming to the next, that is very much important nature of the data, that is on the basis of time and entity.
Yes.
Like being a trainer, it is very difficult to know about the nature and entity of the data. So most of the students normally listen to the three type of data. One is time series data. The second one is like cross-sectional data, and the third one is like panel data. And when you, being a secondary data researcher, being a quantitative data researcher, you have to pick one of them. Like if you are the researcher of a secondary data, if you are a researcher of a quantitative data, and then you have to select on the basis of time and entity. So on the basis of time and entity, either you will go for the time series data, or you will go for the cross-sectional data, or you have to go for the panel data. So in a nutshell, we can say that panel data is the combination of time series and cross-sectional. But before moving to the panel data, cross-sectional data, and time series data, what is the basic difference between these three type of the econometric equation or the data?
Wonderful.
The first one is very simply, and student, if they have their pen and they have notebooks, they have to write the first one: y is equal to a plus b1 x1 plus error term. So this is a simple regression model. And if you put t with is like y and a small t, then with x if you have a small t, and with mu if you have a small t, then wherever you will look these type of econometric equation, you have to think that this is a time series data. Okay. Next, the second one is cross-sectional data. We will discuss the in-depth difference of this as well. But for the layman approach, I am just discussing that if you will see a small t with the data, you have to consider it as a time series data. Yes. Second one is the cross-sectional data. With cross-sectional data, you have to see the I, small I. Irrespective of t, you have to look for the I. If you will see the I, it means that will be of cross-sectional data. And for the panel data, mostly in Pakistan, students are working either on time series data or on panel data. So for panel data is the combination of I and T. Like there will be I and T. With like this, both will be combined with each other. So as these three are the different econometric models, so for these three different type of econometric model, you have to keep this point in mind, that what type of data I am going for. Either I'm going for time series data with T, either I'm going for cross-sectional data with I, or I'm going for the panel data that will be I and T both. Okay. No. Let's elaborate it more. This type of the data, how we can explain it more. Like in time series data, what will be happen that the entity will be same, time will be changed. It's a very simple. Like students should know, the entity will be same, or the object will be same, and time will be changed. And for this, we can give the example like the GDP of Malaysia.
Yes.
GDP of Malaysia. So Malaysia is an entity, and time from 1999 up to 2010. So look at here, the time is changing, and entity is like the Malaysia.
Right.
So this is like if the time is changing and the entity remains the same, this will be called as a time series data, and it will be denominated, or it will be like you can have the difference with a t. Coming to the next one, that is cross sectional data. Very simple. In cross sectional data, what will be happen? The time will remain same
Right.
while the entity will be changing. So, like the time, for example, for 2010, I want to gather the data of Malaysia, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. So, look at here, the entity as getting changed and the time remains the same. The third one is like panel data. In panel data, both the entity and the time will be changed. Like you have the, if you want to go for the data from 1999 up till 2010 for Malaysia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka. Like these are five entities. These are also changing, and years are also changing. So, in my opinion, like the first thing that a student should know, that they should know the time and entity on the basis of which time series data, cross-sectional data, and the third one is the panel data are based.
Yes.
Because when you will move to any software, like if you will move to Statar, if you will move to Eviews, or if you move to Python, or any type of the data, you have to give them on the basis of differences. Either that is time series data, this is cross-sectional data, and this is panel data. So if you don't know the difference, you should have, because the difference is important. Because when you will bring the data on the Excel, so there is a different type of like data you have to develop, which should be considered as a time series, cross-sectional, and the panel data.
Yeah.
So in continuation of the discussions,
Yes.
I would say that if you will move to the views, that then views will ask from you that whether you're using the time series data, or you're using the cross-sectional data, or you're using the panel data. Then if you are working in a time series data, if you are working on macroeconomic factors, then obviously the demand of the views will be like in time series. You cannot put the cross-sectional data in place of time series in the views, and you cannot put the panel data in place of the time series. You cannot mix it. That's why the first thing on the basis of which you have to develop your data is time series, cross-section, and panel data.
Right.
So this is the thing that the first thing I want to discuss.
Dr. Anis. I love the way you started it from the right selection of the nature of the data and the problem, and then you have to select the model. And this is a big confusion regarding the students when they are considering the nature of the data. And you have put it in a very wonderful way, you have articulated in a wonderful way. Now they will always remember what is the clear distinction between these three. Please carry on. I'm learning a lot from you.
Thank you so much. Actually, the thing I want to share with the viewers, I want to share from the platform of the Canvas, that what problem I faced during my student life, that it was difficult to jot it down what type of data this is, and we randomly said, oh, it's a panel data. No, this is time series data, and this is that data. That is why a very simple type of the differentiation between all these two.
And when you,
if you will
Dr.
see,
Anis, give the example of that you traveled 300 plus kilometers just to learn it, I could recall that I used to go from Kuala Lumpur to the UTM Johor Bahru for the workshops and things. We could remember that how difficult we learn the things. And we are providing people the platform which they can learn very easily. Yes, and they have the interaction with you. Yeah, that's a wonderful.
And the important thing I will add over here, and you also admit the factor as well,
Yes.
that Malaysia put something new in us, a different
True.
soul, that soul
Right.
that should contribute, like the supervisor I had over there, the people I had over there,
Right.
they were amazing people. And
Very
what
right.
the best thing we learned from there, and you are doing it very
Yes.
properly as well,
Yeah.
that you have to contribute,
Yes.
irrespective what is coming to you. You have to
Exactly.
contribute. It will
Exactly.
be doubled in the books of the heaven, in the
Yeah.
books of the skies, everywhere. It will
And they
be
were
doubled.
very
But
positive, and then we got the positive energy from them and a positive outlook
yeah,
of the
yeah,
world. They always used to say
yeah.
contribute, contribute. So now we are actually doing the same thing. We are contributing
That's
back.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. So
Thank you very much.
we will not make you bore the student data with us. So
Yeah.
let's
So
come to the topic.
yeah,
Start it with the
Dr. Nis,
with true.
can we start with another session, and then you will start for long period, because we have less than 4 minutes in this session. So viewers, we are coming
Okay.
back just in 1 minute. Please stay tuned, and we will be right back. Okay. Okay, guys, so we have a wonderful discussion with the Dr. Anis, and it's a wonderful way that he is actually telling you people how to do it, the analysis particularly, and that's the wonderful way he is explaining his experiences with you, what he suffered during his candidature, and how can you take advantage of his experience, and you learn the basic things from him. That is the most important point over here. So stay in that way, and if you have any question regarding that thing, you can ask anytime. It's a wonderful learning session for all of us. So again, the thing is, which is most important for all of us, that this analysis is not a difficult part. We just need to understand it. That's it. We need to understand the rules of the game, and then we can do it very easily. Most of the time people just tell us that it's not that easy, it's not that easy, but it's very easy for us, right? So always try in that way, so that you can have the better understanding of that thing. So what he was actually telling you at the same time, that during in Malaysia we have been told that contribute to the world. Yes, contribution to the world is very important perspective. Why? Because what goes around comes around. There is always saying that we have to contribute to the world in a better way, right? So again, the important point over here is it's not about the learning by yourself. It's more important to contribute to the world, contribute to the society, contribute to the research community. Again, that is the best thing we could do as a human. Only then it is the true contribution to the world. So let us see. Oh, هذا غير لارو سيشن تو لارو نغاور کی غاول سیشن ولا کوډ بدالو دوباره کنه غو جوائن کوي نشي نوې مو راستو لغه موبایل اف کړي اوس په کوشش کوي هغه میټینګ باندې غو کوډ دوباره نشي کېده میټینګ نه دی هغه میټینګ جوائن کړه
او کوډ سو تاسو راستول
ځان ته مو کته مستولې کنده دا
کلیک وکړه کوم نه دا دی
دا نه وې
زوړ
دا وکړه د موبایل نوم څه invalid ID show
تاولا غاړي కావాలని నువ్వు చిత్తన్న बस न्यू वाला होगा
लिंक प्लीज दादी का उधर का
नवे जोड़ का
बका दी में
प्रेदा प्रेदा क्या प्रेदा
द सेशन फॉर शूट
इतना नहीं
Okay, so that's the important point over here, that we have to contribute to the world in a larger sense, and Dr. Nis is telling us very important things in that perspective, that how can you learn the nature of the data, what is the nature of the data, and then how would you start your analysis for that perspective. Most of the time in my career, what I have seen is that most of the time people, they don't know about the methodology section or the basic analysis which they need to take and why they need to take. So that is the most I think important point, and the way Dr. Nis has started this session, that is the wonderful thing, because most of the time people they face that kind of problem, and they are not able to tell the people that I'm facing that kind of problem, but they are running from one place to another place. So it's a lovely session going on with the Dr. Anis, and he is telling you very practical way, in a very practical approach, that how can you see the things and how can you understand the things in a simple, shortest way. So actually as a PhD doctor, still I'm learning a lot from Dr. Anis, the way he is actually narrating, and I love the way he is actually articulating the things. So Dr. Anis, over to you, please continue.
Thank you so much for such a nice words, and thank you so much for the viewers who are with us as well. We discussed about the data, about the nature of the data, about the population, about the sample, about the mind setups that as the researcher have to keep, what type of mind we have to keep for a positive research as well. Now let me share the slides with you people, and the most important thing, if you people have the laptop with you people or desktop with you people, and you put on the Eviews software over there, so you can practice with me side by side as well, that would be very much beneficial. However, if you are unable, and if you are listening it from your cell phones, then you can have this recording from the Canvas, and then the Canvas organizations can easily be very much beneficial for the video as well. So the most, no, I'm going to share something with you people that will be very much beneficial, and that have to be learned by every researcher.
Right.
The most important thing about the views is that how you will take a start. The start is very difficult, like the data analysis. We talk about these data, primary data, then we talk about the secondary data, we talk about the qualitative data, we talk about the quantitative data, then we talk about the time, and about the entity of the data, the time series data, cross-sectional data, and a panel data. So most of the students, when they reach to the MS or MPhil or PhD level, they have these know-how about the data, but for a layman, you should know the primary, the secondary, the qualitative, and the quantitative data, and the time series data, the cross-sectional data, and the lost data, the panel data as well. Then you can see the time series data in the slide as well. Then you can see the cross-sectional data in the slide as well, in the panel data. We discussed about all these data, the time series data, the entity and the time. The time will be changing and the entity will remain same. Then the cross-sectional, the entity will be changed and time will remain the same. For the panel, we talked about that both entity and time will be volatile and changing. So most of the students work on the panel data in secondary time series, secondary nature, like students are working on these type of data because normally students took different type of organizations by different type of year. Then they develop these panel data, and on the basis of which they do the OLS. And then if OLS is not recommended by the statistical methods, by the Lagrange's methods, then they have to move to the GLS, and in GLS they have to go for the GLS fixed effect and GLS random effect. And then the decision of the GLS fixed effect or GLS random effect will be made on the basis of the Hausman test. Because let me share a small story with you. A student came to me and he told me, sir, I run the GLS fixed effect. I told him, how you run this GLS fixed effect? He said, I just run the GLS fixed effect. I told him, no, you cannot run. You are not allowed to run it. He astonished at that time, and he thought that Dr. Anis is going to dishert me. But actually, I told him, you are not the owner of the data. Yes. The nature of the data will decide, and the test, significant tests, the Hausman test will decide that whether you have to go for the random effect model, regression model, or fixed effect regression model. Like people, they just, even some people in Malaysia, in UUM, I had a professor, Ayub Ahmad. He says, I don't accept OLS. Like ordinary least square, it is no more in the world, so I will not accept the OLS as well. So people are in the world who don't accept the OLS. You have to go to the GLS, you have to go to the GMM, then 2MM, 3MM, and 3SLS, 2SLS, like this type of the regression model. And the thing I am discussing, people are confusing right now. Like I'm discussing about the OLS, I'm discussing about the GLS, I'm discussing about the 2SLS, 3SLS, I'm discussing about the random effect, fixed effect, Hausman test. But believe me, yes, this is the matter of the time. Yes. This you can learn very easily. Either you are going for the Stata software, or you are going for the Eviews software. These are like peanuts for you people being a scholar as well. So you will learn the OLS, then you will learn the GLS. Right. Then in GLS there are two: GLS random effect, GLS fixed effect. Or I'm discussing the OLS, yes, GLS, GMM. All right. These are the regression models. Right. And these regression models are called the econometric models. And these econometric models are based on what? Are based on the dependent and independent variable. Right. And most of the students have seen all these models, like y is equal to a plus a plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 plus error term. So this x1, x2, x3 are the independent variable, and y is the dependent variable, that combinedly called the econometric model. You can call it cause and effect model. Right. Causal model is also called as well. So this model should be built on what? On the theory. Yes. Like people, another story I came into my, one person came to me and he told me that I developed a model. Okay. So I asked him, how you developed the model? He told, I just took the different type of independent variable, then I compare this independent variable with the dependent variable. So I asked him, what type of relation in between independent variable and dependent variable you develop? Right. He said this one. I asked him, on which theory? What is the theory you are using? So wonderful. Theory is very much important, dear right. students, dear listeners, dear colleagues, dear seniors, dear juniors. Theory is very much important, and on the basis of theory, you have to develop all these things. And a lot of theory are developed, and even people have Nobel Prizes in developing these theories as well, that econometric theory as well. Yes. So let me concise myself. We discuss about the time series cross-section panel data, time series with small t, cross-section with I, panel with I and t. Whenever you will see this type of equation, you should think, you should jump on them, and you should say, oh yes, this is time series data. So in a time series data, what will be happen? The time will be revolving while the entity will be changed. Oh,
Yes.
this is a cross-sectional data. Here, the entity will be revolving and the time will remain the same.
Yes.
Oh, this is a panel data. Yes, in panel data, both are revolving. Time and the entity both are revolving. Like you can see this slide as well. Here, you can see the years. Years are changing, and you can see the GDP.
Right.
GDP are the same for any country. So this is a best example for time series data. You can also see the example of the panel data over here on this slide, like Bangladesh, India, and
Right.
Pakistan. This is the data. These are the three different entity, and you can see the years is also changing. 1990, I think so. It's a 1995, 96, 97. So look at here, the entity as well as the time is changing. So look at here. This is also called the panel data.
Right.
Now coming to the third one, that is called this cross-sectional data. Like you can have over here the GDP of three developing countries in 1990. Look at 1990. 1990 is what is fixed. Time is fixed over
Yes.
here. However, three countries are these are the entity, three different entity, three different countries. It is revolving. So time is fixed, and countries are the three different countries. So the difference between time series, cross-sectional, and panel data should be very much in command of every student before going to make any econometric analysis. Now let's come to the regressions and correlations. Uh, uh, this is very much important. Before moving to regressions and correlation, you should learn about two other very important topics. That is called measure of central tendency and measure of dispersion.
Right.
In measure of central tendency, what you do, you have to face you have to face the singing of arithmetic mean. You have to face this minimum, maximum, all these things. These means are very much important for the data. If the mean is not okay, it means that the data is not okay. You have to be very much careful with the mean of the data.
Right.
And mean of the data belongs to the measure of central tendency, because mean is the measure of central tendency. Then we heard about the standard deviations. That is very much important. Standard deviation belongs to the measure of dispersion.
Right.
And the standard deviation will tell you about the nature of the data, that how much you are far from the average or from the mean. So these two things, before coming to correlation and regression, the student should learn that what is basically the measure of central tendency and what measure you have to take. Mostly in research papers or in theses, you have to take the mean, you have to take the minimum and maximum from the data, because from the minimum and maximum, you can easily jot it down that your data, where is your data? Either it is going towards the normality or it is abnormal. So that is a different discussion, but you should know the measure of central tendency and measure of dispersion, about the mean and about the standard deviation of the data. However, next, if you will come to the correlation and regression, then before moving over here, you have to keep three things in your mind. The first thing, you have to do the univariate analysis. The second one, you have to do the bivariate analysis. The third one is multivariate analysis. In univariate analysis, you are mostly doing the descriptive, like the arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, minimum, maximum, quartile, deciles, and the other one is standard deviations. These are the univariate, because on a single measurement, you are going to know about the data, that what is the nature of the data and how the data is behaving. Because the behavior of the data should be controlled in start.
Yes.
Then The second thing is the correlation, that is a bivariate analysis. Like you have to compare two variables like independently with each other. And then regression, a very important. Uh, Throughout the world, people are believing on regressions. They are saying this is the best estimators, and no doubt regression is the best estimators. And there are different type of regression, and regression is a multivariate analysis. Multivariate, in a simple word, y is equal to a plus b x1, b2 x2, b3 x3. So look at x1, x2, x3. It is multiple, like it is increasing. Like that is why it is called the multivariate analysis, because you are adding the independent variables that is affecting the dependent variable. However, in a simple OLS, like y is equal to a plus b x1. This is also called bivariate, not multivariate. But if you add the x2, x3, x4, this is called multivariate variate regression.
Right.
Here, uh, another important thing, if the student want to notice, that they have to keep their pen in their on their notebooks and should write that there are some assumptions.
Right.
There are some assumptions of the regression which you have to meet before running the regression. Otherwise, your data will be considered as a garbage. Sorry to using this word, because I learned this word from a very renowned econometric. He said, if you use the garbage, there will be a garbage result. So garbage in, garbage out. So for removing these type of garbaging from the data, you have to run some assumptions of the regression that should be in the form of linearity, in the form of normality, in the form of multicollinearity, in the form of autocorrelation, in the form of heteroscedasticity, in the form of endogeneity. Endogeneity is very dangerous. Endogeneity just change the shape of the econometric model. And if you have the problem of endogeneity in your data, then obviously you should have the finger on your head and you should think, no, what I will do, because it will be a new world open to you. So every scholar always pray that there should be no endogeneity in my data. And another important thing that students should note, what I discussed now, like about the multicollinearity, about the linearity, about the endogeneity, about the autocorrelation, you people will be thinking, what is this? So this is not a helicopter concept. It will come through you slowly and gradually. And we will discuss these things today with the small commands. And it's not a helicopter concept, but the helicopter concept is that you have to take the concepts out there, that what basically all these things means. So we are discussing the basic econometrics. In basic econometrics, we discussed what the primary data, the secondary data, then qualitative and quantitative. Then we discussed the time and entity. Then on the basis of time and entity, we discuss the time series data, we discuss the cross-sectional data, we discuss about the panel data. Then we make the difference between time series data, the cross-sectional data, and the panel data. Small t, small I, and mixture of both will be the difference in between time series, cross-sectional, and the panel data. Then we discuss about the univariate data, about the bivariate, about the multivariate. Univariate is a simple measure of central tendency and measure of dispersions. Bivariate is the correlation. Like in correlation, there is only two variables that have to come in front of each other, while in regression, there will be a multi-independent variable that should be run against the dependent variable. And these multiple independent variable will be the causes that will affect the y. Like for example, if y is a problem, that what are the different causes that will affect. So a lot of causes can be there. Then what you will do, if every cause is significant, then you will see which is most significant.
Yes.
And then you have to work on those causes and those problems which is most significant to that, and will bring the solution to the academia, to the industry, to the country, to the world, and to the models of the industry academia linkages as well. So this is the discussion we did up till now. Then these are the key differences what I discussed with you. That is like all these things are the differences. Then benefits of regression, obviously calculate if one of the independent variable or a set of independent has a significant relationship with dependent variable. Obviously, it can be used as a cause and effect. Then estimate the strength of the data. Then the make predictions. The most important point, another point you have to keep in mind that today world belongs to AI. Most of the world is shifting from the regressions towards the artificial intelligence, towards the Python, and the people are making the future predictions from the past data based on the Python. But nevertheless, regression is the founder. Regressions on the basis of regression. A lot of policies of the world has been developed up till date. That's why we cannot ignore the ignorance. We cannot ignore the importance of the regression as well. But students, if you really want to excel up till 2025, you have to keep the point in mind that you have to mix the finance with the artificial intelligence as well. This is only a tip for you people. Let's go to the next thing. You can see these dots. These dots are very much important. These are on the regression line, and if these dots are very much scattered, then it means you should be worried for your data, because your data is very much scattered, and the average mean and the standard deviations and the minimum and maximum results will tell you the nature that what your data is behaving over here as well. So then this is a simple regression model. Like you can say y is equal to a plus bx. This x is independent variable and y is the dependent variable. So every student, if he want to come towards the econometric, he have to be very much in a knowledge that what is independent variable, what is dependent variable, what is moderating variable, what is mediating variable. He have to keep all these knowledge and information with him as well, because from the literature he can get a lot. Then you can see this slide as well. Y is equal to a plus bx. This is the old regression line. Then beta is b is equal to slope change in y due to change in x. So this is another very much important thing you have to learn. A is the y-intercept. That is the starting point from where you have to start, and that should be constant. It can be anything else as well. Like beta, you are basically working for the beta. Beta will tell you that what type of change will come into y, or what type of change will come into dependent variable. That is due to the independent variable. Like you can see change in y due to change in x. So this change in y will be because of the change in x. And importantly, you people have developed the y is equal to a plus bx1. This b is called slope. This is called beta slope. And this slope will tell you about the change in y due to changes in the x as well. So beta is change in y into change in x. Then the assumptions of the classical linear regression. Obviously, we discuss about the multicollinearity, about the autocorrelation, about the heteroscedasticity, about the error terms. We will discuss it in a detail today, that what basically multicollinearity is, what is autocorrelation, what is heteroscedasticity, and what all these things as well. Up to my experience, when I was attending the training back in 2014 in Malaysia, in University of Utara, Malaysia, I was too much bored from all these things, from like y is equal to a plus bx, from the GLS, from the GMM, And what I thought, like maybe most of the viewers or the student, they will be astonishing waiting for all those things which should come before all these. But nevertheless, you cannot ignore the importance of the econometric model, because the same model should be run over there in the Eviews. You cannot skip from here. The same should be over there. If we will go to the Eviews, so the same thing will be copied from the Excel sheet and will be the part of the Eviews software, and then you will run it. So if you people have the laptop with you people, so you can come with me and you can have all these things. You can see this supposition, the A plus BX, none of the independent variable correlated. So let's jump to the nutshells for which the student will wait. In my opinion, is I am the victim of all these things, that I was waiting for what I was supposed to do. These are the things which already I have discussed with you people. The error term, this will be how to enter time series data. Like we discuss about the time series data, we discuss about the cross-sectional data, we discuss about the panel data. So now the question is, if we get all these data, then how we will enter it? There is no helicopter concept. The only thing, you should have the Eviews software installed into your PC or into your laptop. Then it is very, very simple how to enter the time series data. If you have the Eviews, you should just click the file over here, and then the new, you have to click this tab, new, and you have to click on the work file. When you will click on the work file, there will be another window that will be open like this. Okay, please once again listen carefully, that we are going how to enter the time series data. So for time series data, what you will do, you should have the Eviews software with you. So click on the Eviews software, open it on your laptop or on your PCs. Then when it will be open, just click on the file. When you will click on the file, there will be a new. You have to keep the cursor on the new. Then you have to come to the work file and you will click it. When you will click the work file, then there will be another window will be open with this picture over here. Work file, create. You can see what you did. You just click on file, then new, then work file. When you click it, the window will be open in this shape. Then what you will do, you can see it, the start date and end date. Like we are going to go for the time series data, how to enter the time series data. So you can see the start date and the end date. So I discussed with you people that in time series data, your years or your time will revolve while the entity will be the same. So your time is revolving, for example, from 2000 start date to 2010 end date. Then you will click on the OK. Then this another window will open. Either you will go for the multi-year or for the annual or for the semi-annual. Then you have to go for OK, and thus your data will be entered in this shape. This shape, it will take this shape, the data. When you will do it practically, then obviously you have to go for what? Let me explain it again for the layman's. We are going to how to enter the time series data. If you have the Eviews software in your laptop or in your PC, just click on the file, then work new and work file. Click over here, then this window will be open. You have to put start date and end date. Then another window will be over here, like what type of, whether it is a annual data, or semi-annual data, or quarter data, or monthly data, because you can have daily data, even hourly data you can also have as well. So all the options are available over here. No, it's depend upon the nature of the data. It's depend upon the student, upon the researcher, that where he want to go for the research. If his data is time series, then obviously he should know the start date and end date, and on the basis of that he have to enter his data. Either the data is annual, it is semi-annual, it is quarterly, it is monthly, it is bi-monthly, or daily, or it's like hourly as well. Nowadays, in many markets, you can have the hourly data as well. So moving to another section, then when you will go for this, then you will have this type of the window. In next slides, we will do the analysis of all these things as well. But this is only generally, if you people have this data software, then what you will do, then just open it, and you can have all these steps, and from these steps you can go for the entering, how to enter the time series data. Look at over here. Then another thing is how to enter the panel data. So simple. It's not a helicopter concept. Don't worry if you have the Eviews software. So it's not like nowadays. I can see even the childs as well. They can run the computers, or they can run even 1 year, 2 year child. They can find the cartoons as well. So I will for a tip of encouragement. It's not a helicopter concept. So first we discuss about the time series data. Then I showed you different type of the windows, how these windows will come to you when you will enter it by yourself. Then obviously it will look like you will laugh when you will do it. Actually, another thing I want to share with you people. So when you are a starter, when you start the analysis, and when it works, it gives you like you achieved, you say, yes, this is a big achievement. And at the end, if this achievement, and if you learn anything and you share with your colleague, with your friend who is in trouble, then this will be doubled for you people. So we discuss about the time series. Now we are discussing about the panel data. So simple. Once again, open the views, go to new, go to work file, and then come over here. Like over there, the difference is what? Over there, you went for the start date and end date, but here, what you did, you have to open this window, and will click over here. Then there will be a balanced panel. Okay, then balance will come. And then what you will do, you have to put the start, end, and the 3 countries. Look at here, the entity has been changed, like the time and the entity. You can see it. So it has been changed. So the 3 put over here. If you are working for the 3 countries, obviously you will go for the 3. You have to write this 3 over here. Then you can have once again the data in this shape as well. Like look, your data is ready on the Eviews if you found, or if you find this type of the picture. This is for this type of picture for this data. And look over here, the same picture for this data. Look at here, this one. This is for time series, and this is for your panel data. And about the panel, what I told you, that entity revolving, entity changes, and look at the 2000 to 2015 year is also changing as well. So this is the thing we discussed. And next, the most important point that being a trainer, I will discuss with you, and people will love to do this point because it's difficult for some people to go to the file, then to search for the beginning date and ending date. Why they should not go for a shortcut? So there is also shortcut. If you ignore the previous 2 methods, how to bring the data to the views, you can go for this shortcut as well. And this is a brilliant tip. Like if you have the data in Excel, then put it on your desktop, and then importing data from the Excel towards the Eviews. Very simple. Look at here, the same interface you will see, but this time you will not click on new. You have to come to the open. Then you should go to the foreign data is work file. When you will click this, it will automatically take you towards the computer where you saved the Excel file. So you just click time series data. You can give it any name. People of PhD can give different type of name. And I remember one of our colleague, he gave head 1, head 2, head 3, head 4, different type of data. Head 1 data is changed from the second, and when the final data came, and that data was free of bugs and free of everything, then he gave, oh, my love data. So he write it like that. You can have the experience.
Dr. Anis, I had a separate folder for my data during my
Yeah.
PhD.
Yeah, students can have even they can have different type of file 1.
Yes.
So sometimes you cannot find the file 1 where it was. Then what you do on every day, on daily basis, I emailed my data to myself.
Yes, that's
Then on the basis of the data.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. So there is a very good experiences of the PhD, but students want to listen this thing. They don't want over experiences as well. So there will be like a break type of thing we have to discuss with them.
True.
So we discuss about the how to enter the time series data. Then we discuss how to enter the panel data. Then the most important shortcut we are discussing now, how to enter the data from an Excel. So for this, what we did, once again, importing data from the Excel towards the Eviews, the same window which was open for previously, you have to open it. Then you should go to the open, and then the foreign data is a work file. When you will click it, it will take you to the computer. So where you save this data, just click that data, and then you have to click next over here. Then again, next, and close. And you will click next, and close. So look at here, same data, same shape. This is the shape. Look at this shape that came from Excel directly, and look at the shape we were doing. Yes, over here, same thing, but in a different way. So there is a shortcut for you people. And guys, there is a saying, learn everything, but use the shortcuts as well. Okay, so you have to learn the both thing as well. Next thing is how about the multicollinearity and its detection and removal. Look at this syringe over here. You have to inject. You have to inject the data, and by injection, obviously, when you are ill, you have to be injected, and from this injection, what will be happen? You can become the healthy. Yes. And this healthy
maybe vaccinated.
Yeah, this is very much important. And student mostly sometimes student run the data without these injections. So at the end, your data cannot produce the results what you decide, what is basically a contributions from you. If you will not use this type of detection and removal from the data. Because you have to do this in order to get a good R square and to get the significant P values and T values. These debug and these injections are very much important for the data. And after injecting, you will get a robust data.
Yes.
The word that is used by the researcher, that is called robust data. Robust basically healthy data.
Yes.
And healthy data will give you the healthy results. And healthy results will basically contribute to the knowledge, will basically contribute to the problem, will basically solve the problem.
Very right.
So yeah, so you have to go for the we will do this multicollinearity as well. It's not a big deal for us, and we have this injection as well in Eviews, so don't worry for that. But before this, what we discuss about the data, about the qualitative data, quantitative data, about the primary data, about the secondary data, about the time and entity data. Then we discuss about the time series data, about the cross-sectional data, about the panel data. Then on the basis of all these things, what we discuss the univariate analysis, we discuss the bivariate analysis, then we discuss about the multivariate analysis. Then from there, we came to the discussion of how to enter the time series data, how to enter the panel data, through the Eviews interface. Then from there we discuss, there is a shortcut as well. You can just take your seat through a shortcut as well, and you can have an Excel on your desktop and can bring the data from the Excel to your Eviews software, and database can be developed. Then you can play with the data. But before playing with the data, what will be happen? You should inject them. Injection is very much important. So injection of the multicollinearity, you have to remove it. Then how you will do it? We will do it the multicollinearity explanation. We will do this after some time. Then if you violate this assumption, obviously you are violating like if you are bringing twins for the same job, they will behave the same. So it's like a twins, you're bringing the twins like in the shape of the independent variable, and you're saying these twins will solve the problem. Why not? You should bring another person irrespective of the in place of the twins. Then that will be a different we will discuss this in detail. This has a big discussion as well. But today we are just discussing how you will know about the basic econometrics, how the data will be known to a person, whether it is time series, panel, or it's cross-sectional, how you will enter. The basic aim, in my opinion, a student always scared from the interface of what? Interface of SPSS. He's scared from the interface of the Stata. He's scared from the interface of the Eviews. Don't be scared. These are not the helicopter concept. These are the things which you can learn in the fingertips. And what I discuss with you people, if you people have the laptop in your hands or in your laps, then obviously these are the simple things you are dealing with. So what basically this means that you have to debug this as well. I'm coming for these things as well, how we will debug all these things from here. So we were talking about what about the violation of what about the violation of a multicollinearity. So it should not be violated. So what you will do, how you will inject her, how we will know that there is a multicollinearity. That is called, there is a command that is called VIF, various inflation factors. Through in Eviews, you can see this how the multicollinearity explained. Like you can have the student consumption is equal to pocket money plus father income. Obviously, this both are very much known to everyone. But what happened when you will violate it? Then it means how you will debug this issue. For debugging this issue, if you have these previous practices and if you have the data on the views, simply what you will do, you will click the quick. Like first what you did, you click the file for entering the data. You click the file and you enter the data from the Excel. Then another interface from where you have to click is the quick. Everything is in three things like file, quick, and view. I will suggest, dear beginners, that you have to think for three things in your Eviews. The first one is the file, where you will bring the data to your database. The second one is quick, and the third one is the view. 1, 2, and 3. These three important words: file, quick, and view. In my opinion, you are done with the Eviews. If you working on it, if you are tonight, if you have the enthusiasm in your mind and you sit and you just generated a dummy data, and either that is cross-sectional, or you can also have the data from the Eviews databases as well, and you can practice as well. But believe me, file, quick, and view. File is over here, quick is over here, and view is over here. All the games, all the playing with BB. So coming to the, we are going to inject the multicollinearity. How we will do? Come to the quick, and then come to estimate the equations. So whenever you will estimate the equation, look at the word equation. Did you listen it? Yeah, equation is the econometric equation. Oh yeah, it's talking about the econometric equation. So when you will click this, estimate the econometric equation, there will be combination of two things. One is dependent variable, and the other one is the independent variable will come in your mind, because that is equation. So when you will click it, another window will be open to you. When another window will be open to you, what you will do, you have to put the dependent variable first, then constant, and then independent variable. And when you will click this, then this will come to you. Like, this is a regression model. Mind this, please. When you want to, and in simple words, you can say this is how you will run the OLS, or how you will run the simple ordinary least square. You should go to quick, then estimate the equation. Then when the new window will be open to you people, then this new window will demand from you that first put the dependent variable, then constant, then independent variable, and click it. When you will click it, you can have this result. This is the result of the econometric equation. This is the result of what? Of your the dependent and independent variable. You can see the R square over here. You can see the probability over here. You can see the T statistics over here. So today discussion is very basic, but in order to make it more elaborate, another session will also be held, that what basically all these terminology is. Like today, for the beginner, what my objective and what the Calvus objective was, that you should learn the data, how it will be import to the views, how we will run the regressions. So for running the regression, simply you will go to the quick, then estimate the equations, then put first the dependent variable, then constant, and then the dependent variable, and you will have all these things over here. Now very important, you have this window. Keep this window in mind. I discussed that you should keep three things in mind. The first thing over here is you have to keep the file. From the file, what it will give you, it will give you the database from where you will import the data to the views. Then the next one is the quick. Quick is going to the estimating the equation. You will get the regression result like this. And from this window, the third most important is the view. If you will click on the view, then this will be open. Look at this very beautiful window over here, and I love it. When I was learning this software, I was just astonished. Look at here, the view. When you will click on the view, there will be, you can have all these things, but then you will come to the coefficient diagnostics. Coefficient diagnostics. Diagnostic, what we discussed, that there is an injection of what? Of a multicollinearity. So look at, they are also diagnosing. We got the medical store over here in the shape of the view. In view, we went to the coefficient, and then we went to the VIF. Look at here, various inflation factor. This VIF will tell you about the threshold value, whether there is a multicollinearity in your data or not. So when you will click on the VIF, what will be happen? This will be in the shape of, like you can see it in the shape of this. You can get these results, that the coefficient variance VIF, and then the centered VIF. So how you will make the decisions? You will make the decision based on the look at over here, based on the VIF. If VIF is less than 10, 5 and 3.3, then you have to leave it. Otherwise, there will be a remove variable if control variable and main variable, focus main variable cannot be removed. Keep this point in mind. This is very much important point. Like, you cannot throw the variable. If a variable is there is a multicollinearity in the variable, like if someone is ill at your home, God forbid, you cannot throw him. So you can throw maybe that may not be needed. So what happened in your data? I'm very sorry, I'm giving these examples in order to cheer up the views as well.
Yes, very right.
Viewers as well.
Yes.
You can throw the control variable, because in econometric model, in y is equal to a plus b x1, b2 x2, and b3 x3, there is a control variable. So if there is a multicollinearity, so you can remove the control variable, you can add another variable, then you can run. You can add another variable and then you can run. Like the story I had in mind, just click into my mind. What we did, we just added the variable from the variable. Oh, let's see with this variable. No, this is not. This is also multicollinearity. Let's see with this variable. Let's see. Even, the supervisor advise you that if you want to collect the data for 10 variables, go for 20 variables. Because if there is problem in your variables, then you have to exchange the variables. So you will put another one. Oh, the result is good. The result is good. You will experience these type of thing as well when you will move to the practical experience. So coming to let's have a discussion, a previous discussion. We discussed about the data, about the time series data, about the cross-sectional, about the panel data. Then we discuss about the univariate, about the bivariate, about the multivariate. Then we discuss how to import the data to the Eviews database, to the Eviews software from the shortcut and from the manual way. From the shortcut, you can directly bring it from the computer or laptop databases to your Eviews software. Then we discuss about what? We discuss about the multicollinearity that can be done if you will run a regression, and after running the regression, you have to go to another window. And I told you have to keep 3 windows in your mind. The first window of the interface is file. You have to keep this thing in your mind, this file and the quick. And the third one is the view. Okay, is the view. So these 3 things should be in your. Then from the view, various inflation factor, and how you will decide based on the VIF if it is less than 10, 5 and 3.3 as well. So we will discuss this in detail. But what you will do if you found any multicollinearity, you have to remove the control variable, or if a variable that is not very much significant, or that is not like you think I have to exchange this one because this one is creating problem. So you can do it, or you can go for the changing the measurement as well. You can change the measurement as well. Like for example, if you are going to measure the firm financial performance on return on assets on ROA, then you can measure it. You can change the measure on ROE. Go for ROE instead of ROA. And if ROE is not working, you can have another measurement that can be EPS, earning per share, as well. So these things, like you can change the measurement as well. High correlation, less correlation, we will discuss, because we need a very broad sessions for another session for all these autocorrelation detection removal as well, because there are 7 different type of assumptions that should be
Addressed.
that should be cured before running the regression, but that needs a lot of work, like that needs another session as well. So in this session, we are just discussing the econometrics, basic econometrics, the interface, the student from which the students scared, that is the interface of the Eviews. So interface, I just discussed with you people, you have to keep in mind the 3 things. From that 3 things, the first one, from the first one, you can bring the data. From the second one, you can just run the regression, and you can run the correlation, and you can run the descriptive as well. And from the third one, you can run the multicollinearity, and from the third one, you can also run the other way, other measurement, other diagnosis commands as well. So these are the general discussion, the problem statement, how to detect the Durbin-Watson value. No, let's come to the another point. What is basically autocorrelation? What is Durbin-Watson value? This is another very much important topic, which will tell you, which you have to run before running the regressions, because in the regression model, you have to report. If you review, or if you are going to view any research paper, then at the end of the table, there is a DW value as well. You have to give the DW value. What basically this means, we will discuss this as well. But currently, what my concept for today discussion is that you should be very much you should be very much thinking about the Eviews. People are thinking about it. Then Eviews is nothing. Just open the Eviews interface, and I give you 3 tips. From that 3 tips, bring the data from Excel to the Eviews database. Then you can play with the data in different type of. Let me come to another thing which is very much important for the students, and mostly the MS and MPhil student. I think so. If they learn up till this place, then it is a big achievement for that as well. And let me discuss that thing with you people as well. Come over here. All these things need a separate assumption 6 as well. We need a separate session as well. So look at here the correlation and the regression. Students are mostly interested in the correlation and regression. So simply when you will open the Eviews, similarly the same thing will be open in this shape. Like quick, I told you, you have to keep these 3 things in mind: file, quick, view. From these 3 things, you can play everything. You can go for the descriptive analysis. You can go for the correlations. You can go for the regressions as well. So we are currently discussing what correlation. So student are the other participants who bring their data to the Eviews database. What they will do, they will just come to the quick and in the quick they will go to the group statistics. Like for regression, you have to come to estimate the equation, and for the correlation, you have to go for the group statistics. In group statistics, you can also have the descriptive statistics as well. So in this one window, you can have the univariate analysis, you can have the Bi-Variate analysis, and you can have the multivariate analysis. How? Look at the descriptive statistics. In descriptive statistics, you can have the univariate analysis, and then you can have the correlation Bi-Variate analysis, and you can also have the to estimate the equation, that is a regression, and that is a multi-correlation, multiple regression as well. So look at here, group statistic, come to correlation, click it, put the variables of the data that will be automatically in the database, which you have imported through a shortcut from your Excel sheet, from your desktop, or from other place of your laptop or computer. And you will give it this, you will write it over here when you will use of the series group. Okay, so when you will write these are basically the variable names: FDI, GDP, inflation, and so on. When you will click it, you will have this correlation. Look at here, very simple. It's not a helicopter concept. For understanding purpose, descriptive statistic, correlation, and regressions. And the most important thing is to know about the data, what type of the data you are going to use. Either you're using time series, cross-sectional, or the panel data. So you simply did the correlation. Now come to the regressions. In regressions, same thing will open again. Same thing, quick will be clicked, and you will come to the estimate equation, rather group statistic. If you will go to the group statistic, you can find the descriptive and the correlation and other commands over here. However, if you will go to the estimate equation, what you will find? You will find the regression. You are going to work for the regression, because this is called a regression, and we are working for regression. And for this regression, you came to quick, and from the quick, you came to estimate the equation. And when you will click this estimate equation, you will come over here to a new window. Look at this. This is a new window, and in this new window, there is an empty space, and you will write all the dependent variable followed by the list of regression, including the independent variable. So you will put all the dependent variable and independent variable over here, and these dependent variable and independent variable are here. Look at here. These are the dependent and independent variable. And from where these comes from the data that you put into the database of the Eviews. So these are the dependent and independent variable, and you will bring these dependent and independent variable over here. And when you will click, you can find this regression picture, this regression estimations, or R square and coefficient, and p value is significant, and this is not significant, this is significant, the FDI is not significant. So what basically this means, this is your regressions. So what we are discussing over here is that we have to be very much agile to know about the data nature, whether it is time series, cross-sectional, or panel. Then we should know the interface of the views, that what is the interface of this is basically the interface of the views. Then from the interface of the views, you should know where is file, where is quick, and where is the view. So these three things should be in your mind. And from these three things, what you will do, because when you will import the data from the database, from the Excel sheet to the views database, then the next step is what? The next step is the to know about the tab of file, to know about the quick, to know about the view. So the quick is the tab which you have to click again and again for what? For the correlations and for the regressions and for the descriptive statistics. So when you will do all these things, regression, correlation, and descriptive statistic, then if you are going to know about the multicollinearity, or to know about the DW test or other tests, then you have to use the view, and in the view you should diagnose the things, like you should diagnose the coefficient of the econometric equation. The one thing everyone should mind, what we discussed, what we are doing, we are discussing about the dependent and independent variable, and we are discussing about what? About the significant results. In a layman approach, if R square is high, it means that the variable you have selected is really explaining the impact on the dependent variable. So let me share one thing with you people. I was reading a paper and I got R square 1.10. So I was laughed. It's impossible. Like there, it is not a threshold value that you can get the R square of 1.10. It means I don't know how he did it, but it cannot be more than one, and it's impossible to bring one as well, because if you will bring R square as a one, it means there is nothing left in error term. Because why we use error term? Error term means all those variable which is not included in the econometric model, or which is left out from the econometric model. However, it can be the part of this econometric model, and that can be the part of the new, or for the upcoming researcher, he can take it as a gap as well. But if you will bring R square is a 1, it means there is no error term, there is no gap, there is nothing left. It is a superficial type of research, and you did everything, nothing left to this topic. That is why researcher says that if your R square is higher, means if it is in between 60 and 65, 70, it's okay, it's good for you. And believe me, being a student of PhD, when we saw like, oh, R square is 0.70, that is good, I did it, yeah, that's a good R square, so we win it. But later, when we came to know in a primary data, and the R square will be very minimum, while in the secondary data, the R square is high. And during PhDs, you listen different type of things from the seniors, from your colleagues, from your supervisor, and always you are scared, oh, my R square is very minimum. You know, there is a respected prof, Dr. Ting, before he arranged a workshop for us, and when he told us, no worry, if your R square is less than 0.10, that's good, it's not bad. At that time, I just awoke, yeah, thank you, prof, for such a nice communication. I was too happy, because we were scared that at least it should be more than 0.50. But
Yes.
From time to time, what the data will behave, that
No
the
one can
data
predict
from
it.
where, yeah, from where you took the data, it is subject to the data.
Yes.
Data will give you the results, and the responsibility will be thrown on the data, because you took the secondary data from this database, and you have give the reference, and on the basis of that, this is my result.
Yes.
So these are these things, a lot of stories with every graduate, either MS, MPhil, or PhD, or MBA, or professional. There are a lot of things, but you have to keep one thing in your mind. If you have if you have a cell phone in your hand and you are playing like a video game, it's okay. Play a video games, go for Facebook as well, go for Twitter as well, but give only 20 minutes to different channels on YouTube. That is the like from you can have a lot of channels from MIT professors, from Harvard professors, from different other top class universities professor. You can listen to them, and believe me, being academicians, all the inspiration you take from others. It's not the you who can get the inspiration, it's the other who give you the inspirations. And believe on yourself. If you will believe that I can do these things, you can do it. Like today we discuss about the data. Most of the viewers, in my opinion, they got a little bit contribution from the Calvis, from this platform. What is time series data? If T is there, what is cross-sectional? If small I is there, if both are there, and then it is panel. And then we discuss about the other things, about the univariate, bivariate, multivariate. Then we discuss how you will bring the data to the Eviews software database. So before looking or before knowing about the only the word of Eviews, most of the people maybe listening here, they just know the word Eviews is a software.
Yes.
Eviews is a software, and the software will be learned through practice. You will know the practices, you will know very easy practices of that. And then today I give you very simple three things from the interface of the Eviews. Although these are not the enough, a lot of things are left over here, but to some extent, to the extent of descriptive statistic, to the extent of correlations, to the extent of regression, these are the basis of the research for the MS, MPhil student, and even PhD students. Yes. Then they move towards the mediation and moderation. Before this, you should learn and if you have the data, you can run it. And importantly, another thing, you can do this on Fiverr as well. You can log into Fiverr, you can do these help to other people. Even you can earn as well through this analysis as well. Yes. So learn three things. The first one is the file, and the second one is, you can see over here, the file and the quick and the view. So we discuss the descriptive statistic, then we discuss about the correlation, then we discuss about the regression. And no, very simple. Most of the people, when they see the beautiful graph in the papers, they just astonished how they made this. It will be very difficult. No, it's not a difficult game, boys. Look at this. You can have the only right plot GDP or what type of variables you have, only like plot. Then look at here. You can have it over here. Yeah. Look, this is plot GDP. Yes. Plot GDP, and this is the line of the GDP. Yeah. And sometime when I was a student and I saw these in different type of research paper, I thought he did a lot of work hard. This is very, no doubt, it's a hard work, but it's like a peanuts. You can do it. Just write in the command window plot and GDP. Yes. Then you can have like this. This is another. You can see it's a zigzag, like a mountain. Someone is like Pink Panther is sleeping over here. If you look at remind me the Pink Panther, he is sleeping very nicely. But this is not Pink Panther. Yes. This is basically the plots of GDP, FDI, and inflation. And look at here the GDP. This is GDP, and this is FDI, and inflation is over here. Look at the inflation. Wow, it's very volatile. Very nice. Wow. Yeah. Then moving very nicely. Very lucky country to be there, and then just from there came to zero, and then slowly it's moving. Wonderful. In a way. Then you can also have these type of things like this is you can add this, and this is another thing you can have. Then for a summary statistics, for a correlation, you can also use the command as well. Like before this, we used the manual. We gave you the manual discussion, and now you can use the command as well. That is once again a shortcut. to success. I would not say there is no shortcut to success, but you can do the correlation like this as well. Instead of going to the quacks, instead of going to the correlation from manual stat, you can write here. There is a command window. You can write in this command window COR, GDP, and all the other variables, and you can have the same correlation
Yes.
like you have from the quack. Like before this, we did it manually. We did it manually. We did quack. Then from the quack, we came to correlation.
Yes.
So no need to go for the quack. Another tip, that is shortcut. You can write COR, and what type of variable you have in the database. You can have those variables. Just put it over here. You can have the correlations over here. Then similarly, if you want a histogram, it was very difficult to develop histogram by hand. Like when I was in bachelor, we had a business statistic course. There we developed the histogram by hands on the paper. So here you can just write HIST in the command here, HIST GDP. This is the histogram. Okay, so what basically this means that you can have all these things in a very nice way. If you want to know, like a student asked me how we know about the GDP of Pakistan from 1960, I told him it's very simple. Just collect the data from the database, data stream, and go to a histogram. You can have all the years over the years. So he said, how we will know about the years? I told him that there are different type of eras in Pakistan. You can have from 1960 to 1965 to 70, 71 to 75. Then another era. Then there are different type of eras. Then financial crisis 98, 2008, 88, and no, this is a corona as well. So you can see on the histogram, and you can answer this very easily that which year we had a good GDP and histogram. Then another shortcut tip I want to share with you guys, that instead of going to the quack, you can also have this command of the regression as well. Like before, what we did in the shape of the correlations, but now in the shape of manual shape, where we go to the quack and then we estimate the equations, but no need to that. You just learn it, you just go to it. But if you want a shortcut, this is a command window on the screen. You can just write over here LSGDP, means the dependent, and then the constant, and then all the independent variable, and you can have this beautiful regression model with the odds pair, with the probability, and the same results which you will get from the quack, from the manual. You can also have the commands as well, but most people use the manual. So from the platform of the Colways, we discuss both. Like we discuss about the manual as well as the commands as well. So this is a short intro about the views. A lot of things are left over here today, but that needs sessions which should not be boring as well, and sessions that should be like we will arrange another session for the assumptions of the regression, how we will go for the assumptions of regression. And most important, another thing that I wish to request Dr. Heather to arrange the 1 hour seminar for the how to select the regression model in the OLS, GLS, random effect, fixed effect, GMM, and why we will go from OLS to GLS, why we will select random effect, fixed effect, how we will select random effect, fixed effect, and what will be the situation where the GLS will not, random effect or fixed effect will not work. Then how we will go to the GMM, and how then we will go for the 2 SLS, 3 SLS. These are the important points that
And I
that
believe
should
that
also be.
it's a wonderful thing you have mentioned that we will definitely arrange one session on it. It's very important for the students and researchers to learn about it. Very good
Yeah.
suggestion and valuable suggestion. Thank you, Dr. Anis. It would be
Yes.
wonderful for students. Please carry on.
So this, I think so, discussion about the data, about the nature of the data, about the it's how to import the data to the Eviews, how you will do the descriptive correlation, regression, and how you will do it manually, then how you will do it through the commands, and what will be the importance of the data, how you will know about the data, what type of the data you are using, and most important, the three things I discussed with you manually about the file, about the queck, and about the view. So all these three things should be in your mind, and most important thing, the sample and the population should be known to a student, because if you are going for a secondary data, you should know about the population, and then from that population you should select all those sample which should be a true representative of the population. Like in most of the research, people select such a type of the sample where you cannot have the data. So when you don't have the data, then the tension will be on the researcher side. So before, there are so many techniques for the sample selection. You can have Solvent's 1960 formula. You can have the capital structures formula. You can have the size formula. You can have the year formula. A lot of formulas over there on the basis of what you will take the sample. On the basis of age, you can take the sample as well. That if all the organization will be of age of 20, so all the organization who have the age of 20, I will take all those organization. You can take on the basis of the capital investments. All the organization who have 50 million investment, I will take all those as a sample. But if you will take an organization who have 1 million investment and the other one who have 1 billion investment, and you will go for its comparisons in the panel data. So in most of the research, it will be a bit shaky over there as well. So that is why control variable are used either in the shape of the age, or in the shape of the assets, or in the shape of the um, leverages as well, in order to control all the other things which which cannot be the part of the analysis as well. So in a concluding remarks, I would say, uh, before coming to the research world, uh, it's not a helicopter concept from my side, and there is no need of so much seriousness. Seriousness is not needed in this, except you have to divide your time. You have to divide your time, and you have to dedicate some time to your research, being an MS or PhD student. Then last year, for the last year of the work, you should behave differently, because last year is very tough for every PhD student, and I can remember all those nights. So your title, either you are finance, marketing, or HR student, then on the basis of the title, you should know your area where you want to work, whether that will be contributing to the problem. Then the objective you will develop, and for this objective, you should ask the question whether the question is solving the problem or not. Then on the basis of this question and objective, you have to go for all those variables which will impact this why this problem, and that will be the causes of the problem. Then you will develop the theory or the relationship of the econometric model, and when you will have the conceptual theoretical econometric model in your hand, then you should go for the what, for the data collection. And when you will go for the data collection, you should know the nature of the data, the nature of the data, either it is primary data, secondary data, qualitative data, quantitative data, time series data, cross-sectional data, or panel data. You should know all these things before going for collections. Then after collecting the data, you should know the respective software you will use. Like if you are you want to use the smart PLS, if you want to go for the SPSS, or you want to go for the Stata, or you want to go for the Eviews. But to my standard, all these softwares are more or less are same, because their threshold values are same, their statistical figures are same. So their only the interface of every software is different from each other. So up to your standard, you can learn all these softwares, and then it is the best feeling of every researcher, either MPhil, MS, PhD, MBA, BBA, or a researcher by itself. It is the best feeling if a person who see a model, an econometric model, and then directly he indirectly all these steps came into in his mind. Yes, it can be done by me. There is no issue. I will just drag the data from the Excel to the Eviews database. Then I have three options with me from the interface, the file, the quex, and the view. From the file, you will drag the data. From the quex, you can do the descriptive correlation and the regression. And from the view, you can diagnose the data. So this is a discussions, a basic discussion, a layman discussions, a smart effort from the Calvers, from the respected Dr. Heather, very much appreciated from myself, to the community, to the society, to the students, to the world, with a prayer that soon the corona will be finished and we will have a live, practical software practices as well.
Yes.
Thank you so much. If you have any question, platform is open for you all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anis. It was a wonderful explanation and a wonderful session you did. It's really, it was an honor to have you on that platform. Some of the comments I would like to share with you. Can you please stop this screen sharing, Dr. Anis? Yes. So, yeah. Dr. Anis, we have one colleague and dear friend in Taylor University, Malaysia. He wrote for you that it's wonderful effort that we did, and thank you, Dr. Anis. He writes that there are many things that seem impossible only so long as one does not attempt them. It means it seems to be difficult before doing it, but once you are doing it, it becomes very easy for us. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for such a nice words.
Yeah, he's quite, we are obliged.
Yes.
Yeah. Then we have a bombardment of messages that thank you so much for arranging this session. It's a wonderful speaker, wonderful thing. Dr. Anis, we have some questions, queries from the audience as well. And
it should not be so hard. I would pray it should not be so hard, but that's me. Okay.
I don't think it would be difficult for you, since you are the expert of the field and you know very well all these things, and you have gone through all these thing in your PhD and in your academic career. And we have these questions around the world. So let me just tell you the few. The first, there is a one comment. Actually, it came from our student, that Dr. Anis, don't you think it's a kind of mathematics? The more you practice, the more you learn it. This Eviews.
Yeah, that's a very nice question.
Yeah.
Yes, the thing I discussed today is mathematics, but there is a lot of concepts behind this.
Right.
Like if I will start the concept, it will take, in my opinion, nights, 2 or 3 nights.
Yes.
Like if I told you independent variable,
Yes.
this only just independent, a lot of logic behind these independent variables you can have.
Yes.
And how, what are the logic? There is an inclusion and exclusion theory. And if
Yes.
you will go for inclusion and exclusion theory, you can collect, you can touch this inclusion and exclusion theory with error term. And when
Yeah.
you will explore the error term, it will give you the endogenities. So a lot of concepts that should be also, but for a layman approach, and the thing what I felt for the student, mostly student, that they should not be disappointed by the word abuse.
Yes.
That is why I showed them the lighter side of the software, the
Yeah.
lighter side of the concept, the lighter side of the
Yes.
practices.
Practices.
Otherwise, if you will go for the econometric terminologies, if you will go for the multicollinearity, endogeneity, heteroscedasticity, independent variable, dependent variables, R square, P value, DW, and so on,
Yes.
it will take a lot of even it takes the econometric courses takes years.
Yes.
Like in US, if you are going for a PhD, or if in China, if you are going for a PhD, you have to appear for a semester in econometrics, and first you will go through that, you will pass it, then you will step into your proposal.
Proposal.
So it's only the thing that in Pakistan we are making an effort for all those students
Yeah.
who don't know anything about the interface of the Eviews, don't know anything about the univariate,
Yes.
multivariate, bivariate. It seems very easy for you, but when I sit, or when you will sit into an interview, and they will ask you different type of econometric question, then you will think that these were different than what I practice. So
Yes.
practice is for all those, because in PhD we also did the practice, but after that we studied these econometric courses from different scholars, renowned scholars. We
Yeah.
studied the different, I studied the book of Baltaji. Some
Yes.
people call me Baltagi. If you will go, you read the book of Baltagi, you will say this is the most difficult book on the earth. Although it's so, I would suggest, and thank you so much for this. If you people will do practice, I will be happy for that. And next session that I discuss is the answer of your question. That
Yes.
next session about the assumption of the regressions, about how the multicollinearity, what is multicollinearity, what is heteroscedasticity, that will tell you the concepts, that how difficult these things are.
Yes. Yeah, wonderful. Dr. Anis, we have another question and a comment as well from UTM Malaysia. She is a student of PhD and she is the lecturer as well. She says that indeed a great session with a practice approach, and the explanation was in very simple words. Hats off to you.
Thank you.
Initially,
Thank you.
we were so afraid of this software, but it seems very easy to me now, just because of the Dr. Anis. So thank you. One thing she wants to ask, that did you took a help from your seniors while you were doing your data analysis, because we are lacking it. So what to do it?
The most important thing that I have the experience, that there are two type of seniors. A bit of pardon.
Yes.
One senior will always encourage you, and some seniors, they will not helpful.
Right.
So you should find a senior. Of course, I had a senior, Mumtaz Ali Mehman. He helped us a lot. He was a student, and he arranged different type of seminars for us, and he pushed it. Even the lunch was also from him.
Oh,
But at that time, we were not so much serious to learn all these things. And today, if you see Mumtaz Ali Mehman, he is one of the best trainer in Pakistan, and he has the PLS book with the Ramaya as well, Prof. Ramaya as well, and he has the
you are
a lot
talking
of
about the one who is in the nest.
who is in
Yeah.
the NUST.
Yeah.
So he helped us a lot. So
Right.
go search for a senior, find the solutions, find the because learning is a continuous process. You should beg everyone, and begging should be positively given to you.
Yeah, wonderful. Another question we have, Dr. Anis, from one student She is in Karachi. She wants to ask your opinion that my supervisor is recommending me SPSS for my analysis because it is easy to use. So how should I
Mhm.
convince him that EView is much better?
Mhm. Eviews, actually, I want to ask her that what type of data she is going for. Either she is going for secondary data or primary data, because I would say that uh, in simple word, I can ask her. There is a professor Said Khan
Right.
in UK. He's a renowned professor in finance,
Okay.
and he gave a 5-star paper based on the SPSS. So we were astonished how the SPSS has been recognized by the 5-star journals,
Yeah.
but he compared the primary data with secondary data, and he did analysis for secondary data on the SPSS back in 2015, when
Okay.
the SPSS and Stata was not too much like people
No.
were not familiar with it.
Yes.
But subject to the nature of the data plus what her supervisor will suggest her, she should go for it.
Okay.
Because
Wonderful.
after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the degree is in the hand of the supervisor, so she should have.
Yes, of course, you need the support of your supervisor. It's very
True.
important
Yeah.
one, right? Because he is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guider and he will take you through all the journey. Right, wonderful.
Yeah.
We have another question, and that is that there is a general perception that if you run analysis on Eviews, you will be having hard viva or examiners will be hard on you. Is it true?
It's a very nice question, and I will share a short story that
Yeah,
when
sure. Please.
I was going for my PhD, then IELTS was a requirement.
Okay.
So there are two organizations in Pakistan. They are arranging IELTS. One is AEO and one is British Council.
Yeah, yeah.
So I appeared in a British Council and I got only 5.5 band.
Okay.
People told me, "Oh man, you should go for AEO. AEO is giving a lot of marks and so on."
And it is by the Australia, right? This is
Yeah,
what
by the
recommended to
Australian.
me as well.
Yeah. So when I go for the British, and I got the
Yeah.
requirement of 6.5 band,
Yes.
and I got it
Yes.
from the British con. I did not go to the AEO.
Yes.
Similarly, if you will run on the Eviews or on the Stata or on the R or the SPSS, your nature of the data will give you all the answer to the examiners. You will not give it if you do it by yourself. If you will do it by yourself and you learn all the basics things which an examiner will ask from you.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful answer. And there is one personal question from you, Dr. Anis, that since you are the expert and very well versed in the Eviews, so
Thank you
would
so
you
much.
like to
I'm
tell
learning.
that? Would you like to tell that in how much time you learned the Eviews, and which book do you recommend, or what I should be doing to learn it as like you?
Thank you so much for comments. Still, I am learning the econometrics from different type of, and my methodology is like, I will give a tip to everyone.
Right.
That if you are sitting alone and you have the data in your mobile,
Yes.
go for MIT sites. There are a lot of free courses over there. You can have a course over there, and you can build the relationship with the international professors as well.
Yes.
And on the basis of that international relationship, you can have the certificate. So
Yes.
you can, then he will guide you towards his YouTube channels. A lot of best people are on the YouTube over there. Just have this earphone in your phone, in your eye, and don't listen the latest songs. Just go for YouTube and search the
Good.
best
Yes.
thing as well.
Wonderful
This is
answer.
my
Yeah,
stance.
and this is what.
And I learned it. And I did not learn it yet. A lot of things are still left over. Because econometrics is not a peanut. You have to learn it from different people. Will give you different type of knowledge as well. Knowledge is a learning process.
Exactly. and it takes time to learn, and that
Text.
yeah, it takes time. Yeah, one student is actually asking the question that how about
A
your
lot of
view?
questions.
Yeah, no.
Lot
How
of-
about the publication opportunities with Eviews?
Again, I will say the examiner,
Reviewer.
the examiner or the reviewers are not interested in what type of software you use. He is
Yeah.
interested in novelty. He is
Yes.
interested in the results. He interested
Wonderful.
in the contributions. He
Very
interested
well.
in the practical contribution
Contribution.
of the paper. Novelty is very much important. Like I have seen paper in big journal that is accepted in one night. Like
Oh,
one today they are submitted, tomorrow they are accepted, and they are in academy management journals.
oh,
When I saw that, then I astonished that this is the idea that he
yes.
brought over here.
Exactly.
This is the thing.
Novelty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go and don't take the publication very hard.
Yes.
The first thing, the beginners don't take it. Start from the conference. Start from the from a paper. Discuss with your teacher, who is discuss with this Calvus organizer, Calvus foundations as well.
Yes.
You can discuss with every cooperative teacher who can
Yeah.
encourage you. Then slowly and gradually work on it, and you can get it what you desire.
Yeah.
But this will come very slowly,
Yes.
slowly
Again,
but surely.
it will come.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Since we have a lot of questions, but I will just ask the one question, and later on we can just send you the question. You can answer it. One last question. There is a one student, actually he is doing MPhil. He wants to ask the question that do you recommend the Eviews for master students? Is it not difficult to learn this software because we have a less time in our masters? What do you recommend?
It's a very good question, and I just forget to answer that or to discuss it.
Yes.
Dear student, the person who asked me, please listen, that this is the thing which is used on the bachelor level in European and American countries. It's not a specification that you are using it for MS or MPhil.
Yes.
This is the thing. Still in Pakistan, the research culture is just introduced.
Yes.
So you will be astonished when you will see the final year projects of the bachelor student, and they have used even Python. They
Oh.
developed the codes of Python.
Wonderful.
And your question is whether I will use it in MS master's degree. Is not a very common degree. You are lucky to have a master degree. If you will use the Eviews in it, this will be very good.
Yes.
And you can learn it. Doors are open for you, either this platform, either any other respected doctor from your own institute or from other as well.
Yes.
But it's not a big deal. You are using it is in masters or in bachelor or in PhD. Use it,
Okay.
learn it,
Wonderful.
and use it.
Very nice. Another question which I got, and which
That was a last question, I thought.
it's not actually the question, it is the just comment from the one student, but I could not stop myself while telling you and sharing this comment with you that until when we can wait for your next session.
It's up to your platform, respected Dr. Haider.
Sure.
Up to your availability and your platform. We love to contribute, and we are hoping that greetings will come to us
Yes.
on this contribution.
Yeah, sure.
So in this COVID, we will help you, and Calvis will arrange it.
Yeah.
And, my time will always spare for you.
Surely we will definitely arrange, and we will discuss. Let me just tell this student that yes, we will definitely have a session with this renowned speaker, because even at this level I learned a lot of new things from Dr. Anis, and thank you, Dr. Anis. And there is one quotation by Hazrat Ali that if you learn a single word from someone, that person becomes your teacher. So now you become my teacher, because I learned a lot of things from you today, and I could recall that actually these were the flashback when you were talking about the multicollinearity, the assumptions, and the other histogram, etc. things. So flashbacks were coming in my mind. Okay, how we manage everything, and then moving from one place to another, and how hardly we learn it. That is the important point. Actually, you shared with our audience internationally that it's not that easy. You have to put a lot of efforts in that, and then you become an expert in anything. So you have put a lot of energy, a lot of time, and a lot of investment, and that because of you have reached to this level. Thank you once again, and inshallah we will be discussing the dates available with you, and then we will have a different sessions with you, not a single session. Yeah, we will have so many sessions. So viewer, don't worry, Dr. Anis is not going anywhere. If he goes, we will just catch him again from somewhere, somehow. So he's he's a very humble man, and he is very kind and humble. All the time he is available for us. We are so thankful to Dr. Anis for sparing his precious time, since he is acting as a deputy HOD, and he has a lot of responsibility in Bi-Variate Business School. Even though he took time and discussed this thing with you. And I personally thank Dr. Anis for accepting our invitation and sparing such a precious time. It was a learning opportunity indeed for everyone, with a practical session. And I love the way that you told the same thing again and again, in order to have a clarity, to go to the file, to go to the quick, and then estimation. Even I could remember till now that how
this
to
is
do
what
it.
Dr. Haider, this
Yes.
is what called storyboard in PhD. You have to develop a storyboard.
Yes.
So all those students, all those viewers who just lost the concentration, they will come back again.
Now you see, when you talk to the expert, they use different techniques in order to retain the different things. This is the beauty when you talk to the PhD doctor, to the expert of the area, and they will always give you the different tips and tricks to memorize the different things. So once again, thank you very much, Dr. Anis, for joining us and for accepting our invitation. Inshallah, we'll be having more sessions with you in the coming days. Dear viewers, we will be having a lot of sessions, don't worry. And we will be discussing not only the data analysis and things, we will be discussing the different kind of challenges Dr. Anis faced while being abroad doing PhD. We will have another special session with him in that way, that how to guide the students who are afraid of doing PhD abroad. So it's not that difficult. Dr. Anis is very kind and humble, and he will give us time on this session as well. Yeah, inshallah we'll be doing it. Thank you, Dr. Anis, once again. Yeah, inshallah we'll be having other sessions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kalwas.
Thank you once again. This comes to the end of this session. Inshallah we'll be meeting you soon with the other sessions. Thank you. Stay safe. Goodbye.